Okay, so I want to explain where the product rule comes from. This isn't really a proper proof, but it's just going to show you a little bit that it's not entirely unexpected what we get when we try and work out the product rule. So if I'm looking at the area of a rectangle, right, then I might say that that rectangle had an area that was the height, which I'm going to call F, times the width, which is G. Now, if my height started changing with respect to some time or some other variable, then I might write it as A of f of x, right? In which case the derivative of A would be the same as the derivative of the height, but then that would be multiplied by G. Because G isn't changing, it's just a constant, we'd just multiply it on. Okay? Now, what if G were changing, right? So we would be referring to that of G of X. Well, I might as well keep this as G of X here, but I'm also going to have potentially a little bit extra popping in over here. Okay, and that's going to be G dashed of X coming out here, and this height here is still the original height, F of X. And so I've got here G dashed of X times F of X. And so I could also label this on here as F dashed of X, and this is G of X. So this is the original width times the change in the height plus the change in the width times the, well, sorry, this is actually the height, that was the length. But that's fine. Okay, so that's, as you can see, the formula that we have on our sheet. Obviously we don't have A dash on your formula sheet, but you can see that that is what we're talking about. Now the big question you might ask about is this little square here. Should we not just have in there some F dashed of X times G dashed of X also added on? And the fact is that if we actually go through the formal proof, what we would end up with there is we would have some lim as h approaches 0, and we'd have an h squared over h here, and this would cancel, and this would actually be so small because remember we're actually looking at the instantaneous change, so it's effectively 0 extra on there, right? Not a big rectangle, so it's just this little like single line extra on there. Okay, and a little single line on there, and so this is effectively 0 in the corner. Okay, so this is where this comes from. This is the product rule. I hope that's helped you, and please watch my quotient rule where I use this formula to come up with the quotient rule formula. Cool.